What's up guys? So today I'm going to be filming a heartbreak advice video. Actually Valentine's Day today, so it's super ironic that I'm filming this. Hope you had a good Valentine's Day. I know I won't get this video up today, but single or with someone, like, I don't know, I think it's a fun holiday. In my last video, or 2 videos ago, I talked about how I want to make more advice videos and share like my life stories and things that I learned from experience with you guys. That video will be linked right here. You can click right there to see that. Let's just jump right into it. So I have a ton of stuff written down on my phone about this that I have been thinking about since I went through this. I reference my phone, I'm telling you my thoughts. The first thing I want to start off with is a disclaimer that I'm not saying that cheating means that the relationship is over. In some cases it can be resolved. There are relationships where there was cheating in the past and they're happy and it hasn't happened again. Some people think like once a cheater always a cheater, or like if they cheat on you you have to break up with them. It's like a rule to some people. Probably smart in most cases. Being cheated on is something that nobody deserves, no matter what the circumstances are, and it is something that can be worked through. This is relative to the situation. Moral of all this disclaimer, be careful who you let your walls down for, because some people only make you remember why you built them so high, and that's something that I've had to learn the hard way. It is all relative to you and your situation. A lot of relationships last through cheating. Personally, I'm not going to be one of those people who's optimistic after cheating from now on in relationships, because I learned my lesson. But the first point that I want to make, you have to know the difference between giving up and having gone through enough. You are not giving up on someone if you are leaving for the benefit of yourself. You can be there for someone's best and worst moments. You can forgive them 1,000 times for what they do wrong to you. You have to know when you have endured too much. Love blinds you. You are truly in love with them. You see the good in them even when the bad overpowers it. That is why you have to know when you've gone through too much. You stay and think, I'm not giving up, I'm not leaving, I said I would never leave, I said I'm not a quitter. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Gone through too much and it is hurting you more than it is bringing you joy, leave. I'm going to talk about leaving, whether this be someone cheated on you or someone's not treating you right. This is applicable to all situations. Is my second topic, is leaving is for the good sometimes. Leaving someone that you love is one of the hardest but most rewarding things that you can do for yourself, because if you never let yourself go find something better, you'll never have something better. You are never brave enough to go find out what's out there, you never will. You have the world at your fingertips, and sometimes that takes leaving someone that you think is the best for you. Leaving is scary and it's difficult and it's painful, but sometimes you have to go through the absolute worst to get to the absolute best. If you talk to anyone who's gone through a traumatic experience, I'm willing to bet that at least half of them are grateful for that traumatic experience, that they look back on it and they say, I'm glad that happened to me because it made me who I am, and without that, I would make 1,000 more mistakes than I do. And that's okay. The smartest minds are the ones that have made the most mistakes. And the strongest hearts are the ones that have been broken the most times. If you are too scared to leave the person you're with because you know how bad it's gonna hurt, would you rather never know what you could have had, or would you rather endure the heartbreak so that your heart can be stronger? It's a choice you have to make, and it is so scary. But I promise you, the second you are out of a toxic relationship or you leave someone who cheats on you, you are going to be so glad and proud of yourself that you were strong enough to do that, and you're gonna find that you're better off without them. You're gonna find someone 1,000 times better. You're gonna find yourself. You're gonna be more true to yourself. To wrap up my entire statement on leaving, it is that you have to go through the worst to get to the best, and if you're never willing to take that chance, you will never get the outcome that could be 1,000 times better than the person you're with. Honestly, if leaving is a matter of fear to you, then face your fears. Now I'm going to talk about why people stay and why people do not leave, because I have been there. All of these things that I'm telling you are things that I learned by doing. I'm going to talk about why people stay. One time I was talking to this girl and she gave me the analogy about home isn't always four walls and a welcome mat, it's like a heartbeat. What that means to me is that home isn't like the physical space or area that you feel comfort in, but it is the person that you confide in and you are comfortable with. For some people, their home is this person, and to leave them would be like getting up and moving to another country. That is how uncomfortable they are with the thought of not having them. Home can be where violence and abuse and the worst times of someone's life occur. Home as a concept, a general concept, is supposed to be where you feel loved and safe and comfortable. Some people, even if they should not feel loved and safe and comfortable with someone, they do, because that person is their home, if that makes sense. For a lot of people, including me, you stay with a person who cheats on you, who lies to you, who even abuses you in some situations. You stay with them because that's what you're comfortable with. You think, but it's only me that they love truly, or if your boyfriend cheats on you with another girl, you say, oh, they don't love her, they love me, it was a mistake, and he only wants me in the end. They don't mean to my significant other what I mean to my significant other. And so you go back to them because you feel comfortable and you feel like they are my home. Stay because it's where you want to stay. Again, that concept and the concept that love blinds you, it's actually really easy to understand why some people stay with their cheater. I know when I started my relationship, I thought, if he ever cheats on me, I'm gone. Or like, I don't understand why people stay with someone who cheats on them, that's stupid. But then you fall in love and you're blinded by everything bad that that person does, and you rationalize every terrible decision and thing that that person does, and you're like, you know, actually, I feel comfortable with them, I feel safe with them, even if you don't realize it. You're like, they are what I want, and I am what they want, and that makes it okay to stay and give them another chance. Maybe it does in some situations, but if you have to do that time and time and time and time again, you're going back to a broken home. Leave. You just gotta be strong enough to leave. Now I'm going to talk about what you deserve, because not enough people know this, honestly. You deserve someone who builds you up. And this is also relative to the situation, because there are people who are going to treat you so well and be so amazing to you, and they're going to cheat on you. Like, that can happen. That can definitely happen. You deserve someone who is going to inspire you. They should have a mentality that you look up to. They should have morals and values that you look up to. It doesn't have to be religious. It can just be the type of person that they are. Become better because of them. So cliche, but when people say he makes me a better person, she makes me a better person, they should. They should make you a better you. I know that in a relationship sometimes you can feel like beaten down or torn down by your significant other mentally and still love them for their mind and their mentality and want to be like them. But that's just every relationship. Like, every relationship is going to be disagreements, but it is a matter of, again, my first point, knowing when you're not giving up and when you're enduring too much. Like, fine line between knowing whether they bring you more pain than joy, or if it's a good balance, if they bring you more joy than pain. And so you need to know, do I feel around this person happier more often than I feel any negative emotion? If the answer is yes, then stay, of course, by all means. If you find yourself more often feeling torn down or looking down on that person's mentality and choices, then you feel proud of them and proud of yourself for being with them, then maybe they're not the best for you. If someone makes a mistake or hurts you and you forgive them and move on, they either are going to do one of two things. They're either going to say, okay, so I can do that again and probably get away with it because the first time I did, which is the mentality of a lot of cheaters or liars. Or they're going to say, I'm so lucky I got another chance, I cannot believe I did that, I'm never doing that again, and they never do it again. Okay, that's good. That's how forgiveness is supposed to go. They're going to do one of those two things. They're going to believe that they can keep hurting you and manipulating you, or they're going to use that second chance and be grateful for it for the rest of your relationship and probably as a result be better to you. Don't let someone repeatedly hurt you because you're worth so much more than that. If you don't know your worth, you need to listen to me. You deserve the best, and the best doesn't mean that your significant other isn't going to make mistakes and you have perfect love, because perfect love is imperfect. Know how to work through problems. You know how to work through arguments. And that is what perfect love is. That is what true, realistically perfect love is. Perfect love is not, we never fight, we never have problems, I've never had to work through anything, I've never had to give him or her a second chance. It's unrealistic. You deserve someone who brings you happiness more than anything else, and that you work through problems with, but not problems that are going to damage your trust for them permanently. If they break your trust too many times, it's time to go. I say 1, 2, 3 times you're out. A lot of people say 1 time you're out. I believe in second chances, even when I shouldn't. Last thing I'm about to say on what you deserve is that the way people treat you is not a reflection on you, it is a reflection on them. If you've ever been cheated on, the thought has probably crossed your mind, what was that other person that I wasn't? What about me isn't enough? And that is not the mentality you can have. As hard as it is, I know what it's like to look at someone else and say, what did they provide to my significant other that I did not? And it's not you. It is a reflection of the other person. Because if the other person looks at someone who has loved them through everything, and they look at some random girl, some random guy, and they think, you know, I think I'm gonna go for the random person. I think it'll be okay. I think it'll work out. First of all, you're dumb. Obviously a reflection of them, not you. You cannot know possibly why someone is saying something that they are. If someone looks at you and they're like, you're ugly, you believe them, you're like, oh my god, like their opinion is a reflection on me, obviously I'm ugly. Look in the mirror, you're beautiful, and that person is obviously visually impaired. Do not always take what people do and say to you personally, as hard as it is, because chances are it's not that personal. So my advice for going through a heartbreak, keep reminding yourself how strong you are for leaving. Just keep telling yourself every day. Like what I did is I had a list, a list of reasons that I'm better off without the person who cheated on me. Every day it got stronger and stronger. Every day I believed it more. Every time I thought like maybe I should go back, I read the list and it helped so much. That is definitely one of my coping strategies. Another thing is find other interests. There are people to hang out with, hobbies that you haven't had time for, things that you neglect. When you're in a serious committed relationship, you neglect friends, you neglect hobbies, you neglect other responsibilities to be with the person you're in a relationship with. Though sometimes it shouldn't happen, it will. If you are truly in love with someone, it will happen. Rekindle those friendships and relationships with other people that have been pushed aside for your relationship. Become involved in new hobbies. As you can see behind me are a ton of paintings and collages. I've gotten super into art recently, which is great. There's so many things in life that are better than staying with someone who cheats on you or who does you wrong or lies to you and betrays you. Right now, you have the freedom to roam the world and you have the ability to create, and those two things alone are better than loving someone who isn't the best for you. That is my advice on actually getting through a breakup. Basically, hang out with other people, rekindle old hobbies, spend more time doing things you love, try new things that you didn't have time to do before, and just grind it out. Like honestly, use this time to be on your grind. In summary, you deserve the best. You deserve someone who builds you up more than they tear you down. And forgiveness is okay, but there's a fine line between knowing when you've endured too much and just not giving up. So if someone is worth fighting for, you really need to take a second look and say, how many scars do I have from this person? How long have I fought for this person? And how many times have they done the same thing? Because I understand that love blinds you and it makes it so hard to see someone's true intentions. Healing is such a long process. When you get hurt or heartbroken, it is a long process, but it is one that is going to 100% make you stronger. I can vouch for that. I can tell you that honestly, getting your heart broken only makes it stronger. Yeah, so that is it. Honestly, that's all I have to say. If you want other advice videos, do topics in the comments. But yeah, I hope this helps anyone going through a breakup or who has been cheated on. Honestly, I'm here for you. Slide into my DMs. I talk to girls and guys all the time on my Instagram DMs. My Instagram will be right here. If you need someone to talk to, like, I am your girl. I'm not judging anyone who stays with someone who cheated on them. Obviously, I did it 3 times. I stayed with someone 3 times when they cheated on me. I'm not judging you, like, I've been there. Surround yourself with people who love you and spread love. So, as always, I love you all, and I will see you next week.